Pulp MX Network production.
Welcome to the Troy Lee Designs and Racetech Suspension and Engines Blair Matthes Project.
Welcome, everybody, to the Troy Lee Designs Racetech Blair Matthes Project. Thank you for watching and listening. Appreciate it. This is the last one of 2025, and we're going to talk about some 2025 moments inside of this show as well. So thanks again for watching, listening, and sticking around. I know most of you are watching for me, Steve Matthes. Some of you probably tuned in for Daniel Blair as well from Club MX. We got Kellen Brower, the fraud, producing the show, and we'll dive right into a bunch of topics that we got. Thank you to Troy Lee Designs, Dylan Ferrandis, Justin Barcia on the TLD Ducati team and looking good. Ferrandis' gear not as tight as Justin's. That's by design. Email us using the contact form on Pulp MX. We'll give you a code to save at TLD. Mountain bike gear, head to toe. Really great stuff. Moto stuff, obviously, iconic right over the years. They've got helmets, and they're really, really proud of those things. They've got MXGP riders. They got American riders. They got downhill UCI mountain bike stuff. All of it. Troy Lee Designs. Born from a passion just like you people back in 1981. So thank you to Troy Lee. Racetech as well. They got gold valves for 65s and 85s now. They've always had them, but they added a mid-speed stroke, and they added a low-speed compression stack as well. So much more refined these gold valves are for the 65s and 85s. So please check those out if you got a little one. But they also do moto work, and they got suspension work, vintage stuff as well, racetech.com. Tell them you listen to this show or watch this show, and the guys at Racetech will dial you in with a discount. Look, it's December. You're going to start riding in March. Take the suspension off your bike that's been sitting in your garage. Get the damn oil changed. Get the seals done. Get the bushings done. It'll be like riding on pillows once you get it back. All right, people? So show your bike some love. You'll enjoy it better when you ride it in the spring, okay? Zool's bags, Seat Concepts, Firepower, Max's, Decal Works, ASV Levers, Alpine Stars, Stomp Grip, all on board with us. I will tell you more about them later on. But with me to discuss a bunch of topics this year, the Daniel Blair. What's up, DB? How are you?
Doing okay. I got a bone to pick with you, though.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it.
You know what it is.
I do know what it is, and it's not my fault. But, unlike, say, the leader of this country, who never says anything's his fault, I will fall on the sword as the president of Pulp and fall on the sword and say, we need to be better. Mm-hmm. It's my fault. The people underneath me mistook Hunter Yoder for Max Vohland last night on the Pulp MX show, or mistook Max Vohland.
Well,
whatever
was it?
And so
we mistake, or was it just an oops? Because I was willing to give you the oops out, oops.
No,
but did they actually mistake?
No, oops. No, oops. My people, again, my fault. My fault. But the people told me there was a photo on Hunter's Instagram of him and Maximus standing next to each other, and this person cropped it and then quickly put it into the graphic shit. Kellen would know all about this, and grabbed the wrong one out of the two that he cut, right? Because he cut Maximus out of this photo to use of Hunter Yoder. Now, apparently my guys corrected this quickly.
They did.
But this is something that Kellen would do because he loves Max Vohland. And I'm sure he wanted Max Vohland on the screen.
On purpose, though. On purpose.
This is not something I would do because I value being correct too much to do that.
Yeah. So
I don't want to ever mistake who Max Vohland is in that beautiful face of his.
Bottom line is this, Steve. I got on and watched the Pulp show live last night. My guy Hunter Yoder's on there. I'm excited for my guy, and popped up his name with Max Vohland's picture, and I'm like, wow, what a janky show.
Listen, both of you know me well. You know the things that go on behind the scenes, and is it a surprise? Is this really a surprise?
No. Hey, to be fair to you, you were blowing out marks in the group text during the interview to fix it, and he did.
I was. Well, he did, and he fixed it. And I said, did you really know what Hunter Yoder looks like? He said, yes, absolutely, and explained that whole process of the Instagram photo that he cropped and took the wrong one for the graphics. And I don't even know, the fraud would know the basics of putting this into the graphic template. I have no idea how easy or hard that is or how quick it is or whatever. But Anyways, we did have Hunter Yoder on the show.
Yeah.
He and speaking of Maximus, he and Maximus are going West Coast racing. We'll touch on that in a little bit. We're going to break down the 50 West as we know it. I talked to a source deep into the pro circuit team, and he told me what's going on with that team right now. So we got the West Coast and East Coast going on a little bit. But I did want to start with this off the top, I guess. I mentioned this on the Pulp Show last night for people who maybe don't watch that show, and maybe just the Blair Army is into this show. Jason Frenette, a friend of mine, passed away a couple days ago. Blair, did you have any run-ins with Frenette? You kind of crossed paths a little bit. But...
Barely, and no real run-ins, but when I was just getting into the pro ranks, he was around, and so I knew of him. I didn't really know him, but I knew of him enough to know that a lot of people did know him, and I saw that news, man.
I brought it up here on this show because I thought, like, you guys are close, and I'm like, maybe they raced together, maybe they went to an after party together or something, but just not quite the same.
Maybe missed it by a year or two. I mean, because a light crossover, but not
your late friend Tagger Lacey, he and Jason hung out at times, so that's where I thought maybe
that would make sense too. But yeah, I did see that news. I'm sorry to hear that too.
Bummer deal, and
obviously, but that's super sad.
Yeah, he just some pneumonia got him. And Jason Frenette passed away 2 days ago. Ty Birdwell, like a month ago, another one of my riders. Frenette introduced me to Birdwell, got me the job working for Birdwell in 1997, and they're both gone. And it's just, man, what the hell is going on? But R.I.P. Jason Frenette, great Canadian rider. He was 12th in the points in 250 Motocross Series in 96. 12th in the points until halfway through the year, and he broke his thumb trying to jump Larocco's leap in the mud. Cased it in practice, broke his thumb, like did what Jett and Cooper Webb did, pulled that ligament back. And his season went south from there. He was a great rider, but his mom was running CMC Canada. Remember CMC?
Yep.
Well, then Mark Stallybrass sort of did like a hostile takeover and started CMRC in Canada. So Jason's mom ran CMC, so he couldn't support the Canadian series because him and his mom didn't like Stallybrass and what he did. So he was sort of forced to America. So he raced, Supercross and motocross for 3, 4, 5 years. Never really did Canadian nationals. He probably would have been a top 3 Canadian rider like JSR and Level. But yeah, he could never really do the series because he was, him and his mom were pissed at Mark Stallybrass for the CMRC. But yeah, I worked for him for a couple of races. Speaking of JSR, we beat JSR in a moto in Quebec at a local race, and JSR's mom and dad were not happy with us because we were staying at their house at the moment. Anyways, R.I.P. Jason Frenette. We're getting too damn old, Blair. People are dying.
I know. That's just, like I said, very sad, especially when it happens in 2s or 3s. You know what I mean? So for you, I can understand that being just like, wow, man, because those are guys you knew. So sorry for that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So moving on from that, he was funny too. Okay. So I brought this up on the Pulp Show, and I don't want to get back into that. It was a little source of my rant, but I was asked on social media after Jett Lawrence's injury, obviously, about percentages of the title for Supercross this year. And honestly, like I said on the show last night, I didn't put a lot of thought into it, maybe, 30 seconds thought, but let me just bounce this off you guys. And then we did bring this up with Paul Parabinos, and he disagreed with me a little bit, but both of you. So without Jett there, I mean, Jett was my favorite. I think he was most everybody's favorite. I broke it down 100% title pie. I broke it down to me. Sexton 33%, Webb 30%, 25% Eli Tomac. Those three are they take up, let me do quick math here. They do up 85% of the pie. Then it's 5% Hunter. Like, I'm just thinking he could take that leap, that McGrath type of leap. He's right close. 5% Kenny. He's older. He's never really completed a full Supercross season that I can think of off the top of my head. And I give the field, AP, Malcolm, Justin Cooper, 2%. Just out of nowhere. Jason Anderson, probably the year Jason Anderson won the title, he was probably a 5%er that year, when you thought about it, like going in. So there's that chance that the 5%er takes the leap. Anyways, Paul thought that I was too too low on Hunter, too low on Kenny, probably too low on Eli a little bit, and he would take away from Webb and Sexton and back it down. But let's start with you, Daniel. How do my percentages look to you? What am I off? How would you go?
I'm probably closer to you than Paul would like, but a little bit different. But I'll start with this. With Jett in there, I was obviously, as you and everybody with any sense of reality would say, pretty heavy Jett, right? I mean, I think barring an injury or a bike issue, I think he would have probably clinched around early. I think he's that good. But at that point, if you were to ask me the question, to me, Sexton would have been the one that actually would, I think if you were to say, okay, Jett's going to win, but if it was anyone else, who would it be? I would have gone heavy Chase with Jett in there. But it's weird because as soon as Jett goes out, all of a sudden, to me, Eli's numbers go up and Cooper Webb's numbers go up, because I don't think that Eli could run the 17 rounds with Jett. And I know Eli doesn't like to hear the age thing, but dude, going 17 weeks with a 22-year-old freak like Jett, I mean, it's a tall ask. And for Cooper, I don't think speed-wise, that's a rider he could ever overcome. And I don't think he could really get him mentally either. So for me, as soon as Jett goes out, all of a sudden, Eli and Cooper, they shoot up to me. And Chase's numbers, I think, again, his challengers get better, because I think that Eli has had his number. I think Cooper proved he had his number last year, because they can beat him in different ways. So now that Jett's out, I know this is going to sound a little JT. It's a little too even probably for your liking, but man, I'll go 25 Chase, 25 Eli, 25 Coop. I really think those three are all equal. Then I probably am going to be a little high for your liking in some, but I'll go Kenny at 20 and Hunter Lawrence at 5, and that's probably where I leave it right there. Hunter could take it. I think he would have to have a pretty dramatic leap to get it. He hasn't won a race yet. But then again, if he does what he does outdoors, indoor, I mean, God, he's so close, man. But I'll go Kenny pretty high at 20 and the rest at equal 25. I think it's that even across the board with the 4, but Kenny's just a little bit behind those 3.
All right. The fraud?
For me, I put Chase and Coop equal billing, just because, I don't know, this feels almost like rerun of last year. Like, obviously Sexton's going to be fast, but he's also on a new bike that he has to figure out. Kind of the same thing for Webb, going through the motions with the new Yamaha, but mentally, clearly Webb has the edge. Sexton maybe has the speed, and somehow that always seems to meet in the middle. Like we saw with Chad and James. James had the speed, Chad maybe had the mental edge, and they met in the middle. So I'm going to go 25% for both of them. I'll knock 5% down to go to Eli, just because I feel like we're maybe just a notch over the hill with him, and he still could win and he still could be a champion, but I just don't think he's in the prime zone anymore. And so that's why I just knock him down a little bit. And then I'm going to go 15% for Kenny, because I actually think his chances of winning this title suddenly look really not too bad. So I'm leaning higher for him than most people have been giving him credit for. And then I'm going to actually do 13% for Hunter Lawrence and 2% for the rest of the field, because I think if Hunter can win early, he could maybe go on a streak and be in this thing late, but he has to win early. Like, if he's not a winner within the first 6 rounds or so, then I'm probably out on his chances.
Yeah, I would say like McGrath in 93, MC won round 5 and then took off. And I'm not saying that's Hunter either, but I'm with you, Kellen. He's got to get a win early and then be like, okay, I'm in this. I can do this. Now just start racking off wins, That's Hunter's path to it. I do agree with that. For my stuff, I look at 7 race wins for Chase Sexton last year. And I know he didn't like that bike that much. And we know he did have some shock problems. And he hit a gate. Still got 3rd, but he did hit the gate. So I look at the shock and hitting the gate and weirdo stuff, and think about maybe the Cowie team being a little more settled than KTM, and 7 races on a bike he wasn't stoked on, and that's where I'm giving him this 3% over Cooper Webb. But Daniel, you're absolutely right. Once Jett went out last year, Coop seemed to change, right?
Totally. It became more realistic for him, because it turned into more of a cage match. Where I think and last year, I think we talked about it on this show a few weeks back, but last offseason, he definitely went on the Chase Jett around the world campaign and just was trying to grab that new speed. And it didn't translate early in the season. And not that Jett had it either. Jett was a little bit of a mess early too. But it just seemed like Cooper was weirdly off. And then all of a sudden, he did that whole Cooper thing where he just locked in and then really. But here's the thing, too, with Cooper. he's really good when he locks in on a target. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how well he does in a broad gate of challengers. He's really good if there is someone that he could just target like he used to do with Kenny. And so I feel like last year he got away with the fact that it was Chase who was just, I mean, he couldn't give that title away any more than he did. It was so many silly things. The Arlington thing, I mean, I still can't believe that.
Yeah, that's an all-timer. That's an all-timer.
But that's like Cooper Webb's MO, is to take advantage like he did with Kenny. And Chase and Kenny have some similarities in that way where they struggle in a one-on-one cage match. I mean, Chase lost to Eli that outdoor season 2 where he couldn't really overcome the one guy. So Coop's going to probably need things to get beat up a little bit early and maybe hope that Eli has an issue or doesn't gel with the bike, or maybe Chase has issues and throws a couple away. Because if it stays 3 or 4 guys in it, or if Hunter was to elevate up, that does make it harder for Cooper, because I don't think he can overcome 2 or 3 guys at the same time. It's usually when it's one. But I still like his chances because I don't really trust Chase all the way, and I don't trust Eli all the way, and I don't trust Hunter yet, and I don't trust Kenny yet. So the truth is the season really shapes up cool because I don't really trust any of them all the way. And but again, back to my original point, if Jett was there, Chase is the only one that I think can go and run that pace and probably gap the rest of them. But now that he doesn't have that to chase around, he is susceptible to issues, man. I mean, he just does. So to me, it really, really evened out the championship, where before, to me, it was a clear Jett, probably a clear Chase in second, and then a good battle for third. And it ain't that way no more. I mean, not at all.
Well, Roczen winning would be the coolest story. Oh, yeah. That'd be the coolest thing. That'd be awesome to see that.
Could you imagine him going on the podium at the fun around holding his Kickstarter up again like Indy?
Yeah. When I talk about the field, do you guys think Justin Cooper is the head of the field? Like, same as Hunter, has never won one. Yeah, like if we're talking about AP, Malcolm, Barcia, J. Coop, Anderson. J. Coop probably the leader of that group.
I mean, if you had to pick one, yeah, but I don't know if I could even go the field unless, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I gave the field 0, and I'm just going to stick to it. I don't think anyone else could win the title. I just don't.
All right. Kellen?
Yeah, I mean, consistency-wise, yes, but I actually almost maybe lean like AP or Malcolm, just because Malcolm was only 4 points behind J. Coop last year, and I think he'll start better this year. And then AP had a horrific start to the beginning of last year and still only ended up about 20 points behind J. Coop. So I think that he could very easily start stronger and then be better than him by the end of the year too.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
I could go on to a debate with all those names over which one will get a win this year, but to get a 17-round season put together and beat the rest of those, I mean, again, anything can happen, but I just feel like that would be a tall order. But I get what you're doing. You're just giving a little insurance to the field just in case.
Well, I mean, it was my subject of my rant, because then when I put these percentages out that I really spent, 30 seconds thinking of, but it's kind of what I do think about. Then I got attacked by the super fans from each of the riders, and I'm just like, oh my God, people, like, settle down.
Of course. We're talking title, though. And again, at 250 racing, bro, who knows? I mean, you go in every year and you're like, no way. But these guys are established, man. Like, we know so much about Eli, Chase, Coop, and then of course Kenny. To me, Hunter is he's still the one that would be the wild card for me because he hasn't won yet. But as I said, if he could just take outdoors and even SMX, take that indoors. I mean, it is year 3. Year 3 is kind of like, more than anything, it's time for him to do something, at least get a win this year. And I'm with Kellen. It have to happen early. I don't think he's going to sneak into a championship late. He's going to have to win and become like one of the guys, like probably in January. Right. Otherwise, you could get away from him too far. I don't think he's going to overcome a 20-point gap. So I'm with Kellen on that. He's got to win early if he's going to be in this thing.
Yep. By the way, they did a Supercross preview show on TV. I didn't watch it. I just got some texts about it. Obviously, they put it all together and built it before Jett got hurt. And there was a disclaimer, I guess, on there about Jett getting hurt. But yeah, like, hey man, can you do something else? Like, the number one contender's out. Could we grab some interviews? You guys on this with me? Like, could you? And look, our friends are in this, and our friends made this. Well, some of my friends, all of my friends, some of Daniel's friends, they're in this thing and they made it. All of that. So like but I got to call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's a football preview show and Tom Brady blew his ACL out, they're not just going to put a note up saying Tom Brady blew his ACL. Like it's full panic level. And look, Jett he is the star of our sport. So if he's racing, I feature him. You should. This kid's a phenom. But Daniel, like, I mean, yeah, we've done something.
Yeah, look, I don't want to come in too feisty. It's the end of the year. Christmas was great.
Yeah, no, you had eggnog.
I'm trying to turn a new leaf here for 2026. But I mean, this is the official preview show on NBC. It's like this is it. You know what I mean? And I feel like an easy rewrite of the first 5 minutes or 6 minutes of the show. Bring in James or Ricky, fly Weege in. I mean, you could very have easily rewritten the top of the show and made everything still make sense. But it was just weird to me because they left up an interview where James is talking to Jett about, I just want to finish every round. And it's like, well, that's already out of the question now. Don't leave that in there. And to me, it's not like it's that time sensitive. I mean, you could turn around things very fast. So to me, I felt like it was a missed opportunity to clean up the top of the show. And I really don't know why they didn't. And I feel like that was just a kind of a big oops for a big moment. Again, we don't get on big NBC very often. And this is the preview show for the series. And like, he's the main guy and it's big news. Like it's a 5-minute rewrite. So I don't know. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to be too feisty tonight.
Kellen, you didn't even watch it, but you got the same notes that I did.
Yeah. I mean, without seeing it, I don't know, but I will say that like, you're right. I wish they would have done something a little bit more. I'll pivot this to you and ask you a question though. You guys, by a day, basically got the Racer X episode 1 preview show up before Jett got hurt. Would you have gone back if you knew and re-recorded the whole thing?
Great question.
I don't know about the whole thing.
No, but Steve, would you have this? If you recorded your preview show and then you were holding on to it and then news broke, would you just throw it out there? Or would you do something about it?
No, I think we get together on a Zoom and do something, right? Yeah.
Even make fun of it. Like, oh my God, this is what happened. This is breaking news. I just felt like that could have been very, I'll leave it alone.
Yeah. Just jump on a Zoom and just do it. Do something. I mean, they put a note up, right?
They did. We did like a disclaimer with the Instagram post and definitely recognized it, but recognizing it doesn't, I mean, this is the top of the show. It's the biggest story of the moment. With the biggest star, it affects everything after. Everything.
And then doesn't it make maybe things more exciting? Like we just spent talking about with no Jett, right? Yeah.
Totally. And so I could have, maybe, should have, would have.
Okay, moving on. Maxxis tires. Great traction today out there in my Maxxis tires on my mountain bike. Thank you to Maxxis.com for everything they do for us. Jeremy McGrath helped develop the Maxxis tires, PRMX, and the International Supercross race team with Vince, Bubba Pauly. There's that other guy, Kellen. Tondal?
Yeah.
Wait,
Condal?
What? Who?
Cornelius Tondal?
He's on that team?
Cornelius. Yeah.
That's the guy that got fastest lap, right? Somewhere.
What?
On the outdoors.
Third fastest at Southwick because he was in B.
He was in the B practice. He was third fastest at Southwick.
Well, he's using Maxxis tires on his Kawasaki's this year. Maxxis.com for more information on that. Alpine Stars protects, and they do protect. That Tech Air protection system is out. Please check it out. Chad Reed helped develop that thing. We'll talk a little bit about Chad here in a little bit on this show. But Alpine Stars protects knee guards, elbow guards, all of it, protection. Even if you don't want the Tech Air, they've got the A1 Plasma and the A1 Chest Pro. Please check that out. Alpine Stars protects. Firepowerparts.com, big part of the Club MX team. Other people as well. They help out batteries, featherweight lithium batteries. They got chains. They got stands. They got ramps. They got some really cool parts coming for the Firepower brand in 2026. So firepowerparts.com for more information on that. Thank you to those guys. And, of course, TLD and Racetech, Troy Lee Designs. Listen, I was supposed to have a painted helmet by now. There's been sort of like a backlog of stuff going on there with the new team and the Ducati, and Matthes' custom painted helmet has been put on the back burner. I've got drawings, and I can't wait till Troy Lee paints that thing. So if you want to get your own helmet painted, after the Anaheim 1 push. Contact TroyLeeDesigns.com. Racetech as well. Love the guys at Racetech. Checkers is the guy. Racetech.com for more information on that. Okay. Anything else about the TV show, Daniel, or can we just move on?
Nah, move on.
Okay. I'm kidding. All right. 250 West breakdown. Spare me the Racetech rant that I normally have about teams not declaring. We do see more people declaring than we ever have before, which is nice. You get to show up at Anaheim and know who's racing, and we get to talk about it in the media. Unlike, say, buying tickets to NFL and not knowing who's playing that day. Okay, so we got Star Racing Yamaha, Hayden Deegan, defending champion, Anstie, Mosman. We got Hunter Yoder and Voland for the club guys. We got Chance Hymas, who's been motoring down up in Mesquite. Ryder D is on the Rockstar Husqvarna team. PC should be McAdoo and Kitchen. Drew Adams is be going east with Hemaker. AEO, Avery Long, Mumford, and that other kid, Kellen, that didn't talk at the media day.
I'm drawing a blank on his name as well. You're right.
Kyle Wise.
There you go. Yep.
Derek Kelly, Henry Miller, Jack Chambers, Bourdon, Parker Ross, Dylan Schwartz. These are some of the names I got. There's a flying at the test track component to Ryder D right now. I'm sure you two have heard that a little bit. And then we have Levi Kitchen, Hayden Deegan, and Max Anstie. Those three going at it for the title. In my eyes, what say you, Daniel?
First off, I want to point out that I'll take some responsibility for releasing the rider list early. That was one of the things I wanted to do. I asked Brandon for permission first, of course. I'm like, hey, man, is it cool if we do what everyone wants and just tell everybody who's riding West early so that we don't get caught in this weird game of lying until the last week? He, of course, said yes. And so we put out an Instagram video a long time ago announcing, because we knew. I mean, it was they were preparing for it. Now, of course, if something happens, then something happens, and you announce that something happens, and we would have done the same. But Hunter and Max, they've been prepping for round one since October, maybe. So we let it out early, and it's cool that things are starting to come out more early, but still haven't seen every team's press release as we're getting into January. But anyways, I think your list is right. That's what I know too. And I don't really know how. I mean, Deegan's the guy, of course. He's the defending champ, and I think that he is the standalone favorite to win this thing. But the one thing I will point out, Villapoto didn't defend or didn't win his third year in his final year in the 250s because things happen in 250 racing. Trey Kennard showed up, and it's like, wait, what? And so sometimes the favorite doesn't win just because they're the favorite. Hayden's obviously, the odds are way on his side here, but Anstie is really good right now. I mean, really good. And he, to me, is kind of your Christian Craig 2.0 guy. He's in his 30s. He probably, based on his resume, shouldn't really be in the 250 class, but based on the rules, he's totally eligible. Levi Kitchen, I really like that Levi is riding the West because they're already chirping a little bit, and I think that he'll probably be in speed the best challenge to Hayden. So I kind of feel like those two are the most in position to chase the title. And then outside of that, though, I think you're going to see more riders on the podium in the West than you've ever. I think there's going to be a lot of guys just rotating on that podium. So, another little matchup I really like to see is Hymas versus Ryder D. Amateur kids that grew up racing each other forever, both kind of looking for a breakout season. So that's a little battle inside the battle that I'm really looking forward to seeing just because of their youth history. So, but that's the way I see it, at least at the top.
I think this goes in my eyes. This goes one of two ways. One is that Deegan really comes out and crushes it. Wins 4 of the first 5 rounds, 3 out of first 5. Then is on the podium for the other 2. Big points lead. Kind of cruises this thing home. It's time for him if he wants to be, elite. That's what he needs to do. There is that. But man, I got this nagging feeling that he'll just immaturity may get a hold of him. If he's in shape, lets his riding do the talking, he's fine. But man, we haven't seen much maturity from him on or off the bike. Emotions get a hold of him. And sometimes that's a great thing, right? The emotions have helped him, but sometimes it's hurt him. So does he go after the chef and put them both on the ground to send a message from last year? Is he in third and not able to catch somebody? doesn't think of the big picture and throws it away, trying to get second or first, right? So I see two ways. He either walks to this title, learns, takes his rightful spot and walks to it, or I think he is in for a hell of a battle. Do you know what I mean? Like because I don't know if he's mature enough to be cool and calm and know that he's the best guy.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Does he carry over from some of the past issues and he's not moved on from them? Because if that's the case, then he'll be all in kind of a beef with Kitchen, and then he'll blow. The real question is, though, has he grown past that and learned from?
Right.
But I go back to Denver and Salt Lake last year. He was pretty good at the very end. He kind of smashed them there at the end. But then the last time we saw him racing on a 250 was the Shimoda stuff and the Kitchen stuff, and he was caught up in the middle of all that. So you want to live off that a little bit. But then I go back to what I saw at World Supercross. I mean, he was so good in moments on that bike. And I know it's a 450 and it's different, but I feel like that alone should help him like grow up, because he was racing with older guys. He kind of had to grow up in the moment. And if he takes that back down to 250s, he should probably walk this thing. I mean, in reality, barring weirdness, he is your clear favorite and should probably win this thing very easy. The issue is it's 250 racing, and 250 racing is always weird. No matter what you think it's supposed to be, it never is that. It's always something else. So whether it's the things that you're talking about, which is the carryover from the problems, or just someone, I mean, who thought Davies was going to pop out next year and win a bunch of races and be that legit? You never know. So what if Ryder D does? You know, what if Ryder D all of a sudden becomes like the final product that everyone's been wondering if it's there? Mm-hmm. You just never know. And then, of course, you do have East-West showdowns where he's going to have Davies and Shimoda. Like there's enough in 250 racing to weird this thing up, but he should probably walk this thing in reality.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. He's in the fastest guy and he's in great shape, and he just needs to understand to not get caught up in these games.
Yeah,
show him on the track. Just let your skill and your talent come through, and he will win this thing. By the way, you mentioned Shimoda. It didn't seem like last night Shimoda will be racing much Supercross.
Really?
So, yeah, he's going to miss most of the series, I would think.
Wow.
But, yeah, so – and to me, I put Kitchen and Max on the same level. They're behind Egan for the title odds. Race winners, yes, but they're equal in my eyes. I don't put Max or Levi.
They were pretty equal last year to start the East. I mean, think how those two started. They won the first two rounds, and then they were both gone. But those were the two best on the other coast when it started. So
yeah, and then I'm interested in Ryder D, like you mentioned as well. Let's get into the Max Volan part of everything, and not with Daniel Blair, but with the Max Volan expert here, Kellen Brower. Kellen?
Well, I mean, I'm just listening to you guys talk about all these other names, and I mean, I think after Max laps the whole field at the opening round, everyone will just go home and he'll win the title easily. No.
Okay, goddamn.
I really am looking for the version of Max that we saw on the PC Cowie right here back on the club bike, because I think that all of last year was just a slow rebuild, getting his feet wet again. He got the podium in Pittsburgh and all those things were great, but all of it was a process of trying to learn how to adapt to not being able to feel his foot and riding with the handbrake and all this stuff like that. I think he is going to get back into where he was, winning a heat race on the PC Cowie Day 2 years ago, battling for a podium right away. I think that within the first couple rounds, if he's not on the podium, I don't want to say it would be like a disappointment, but I think that he's that good and can do that that quickly. And so I look for really good things out of him this year.
Yeah, he built last year, right? He got better and better as he figured out that bike and got a little more confidence and realized, like, hey, his career's not over. He can be a guy. So, yeah, I think it was pretty impressive for sure. Mosman, just that's the emoji. Mosman, just I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, Mosman's actually, he created the I don't know, man. He literally is I don't know, man. Right? Like, hey, if Mosman got on the box a bunch, would you guys be surprised? No. And if he got ninth? Yeah, no.
No.
Right.
I will say I'll make it. I wanted to not say anything about Max or Hunter just because of the bias.
Yes.
I mean, I'm extremely biased, and of course, I'm going to just state the obvious. They're shredding at the practice track, but in reality, I feel really good about both of them. They've had a really good off season. there's been I said that the target for what they've been chasing for the opening round has been really, really tight. And I think they're there. So I don't want to come across and do the bias thing, but I will back Kellen up and say, like, Max is going to be a different version this year. And you could just take that for how you want to take it. But last year was a rebuild year. I mean, he started out and even had a bike issue at the first round without trying to figure out the clutch brake thing. And when the year was done, he's number 19. That's the lowest number he's ever had. He absolutely crushed his rebuild year. And I'll just say from the very first day of this year's boot camp, it's like, oh, wow, okay, that's a different version of Max. So I'll leave it at that. And then Hunter Yoder the same. I'll just get this out of the way now, but he's going to do. I think he's going to do great, and I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to.
The wild card. The wild card is McAdoo. Like, I haven't heard great things from the offseason about him at the test track. He has not been flying at the test track. He's not been slow, don't get me wrong, but just not flying. Coming off a knee. Cameron McAdoo, wild card. Right?
Yeah. A little in the Mosman category for me, where it's like, if he was on the box at round 1, like he was last year, I'd be like, yep, there's Cameron McAdoo. Or if it didn't go well, I would be like, okay, because it's just been a lot of that too. So, no, I feel like both those two riders, Mosman and McAdoo, this is a history that's been going on for a while now, where it's like the ceiling is so high, but there's just always things involved that kind of don't allow him to be there a lot. And so I don't know. Again, like you said, Anstey Kitchen Championship, kind of easy to piece those together. With Mosman and McAdoo, I think it's round by round. But I wouldn't be surprised if both of them were crushing it at Anaheim 1 because their ceiling is that high. So it's going to be fun. And then Hymas, I know you were talking last night on the Pulp Show about Hymas. Lars said, and he slipped this in there too, that it was a contract year for him, which is crazy because on outdoors, he's done nothing but prove that he's an A-lister. He's legit as it come. But he has had multiple knee injuries now, multiple years in a row, and Supercross hasn't been that pretty. So he is kind of in this weird prove-it year. But for me, I've never looked at him that way. I've always looked at him as he's so good that, like, I guess it's hard to hear that phrase with someone that good, but I get why it is a prove-it year. I get it.
Is there a world where Hymas, and he's not that far removed from his surgery, but enough time, is there a world where Hymas is on the same level as Kitchen, Anstey, and Deegan?
Yeah, I mean, again, no one saw Juju coming out like he did when he broke out. No one saw Cole Davies doing that either. Yeah, his talent is there enough to where, if it happened, I'd be like, yeah, he's that good. But it's hard to really picture it because it's never happened and he's been in there for a couple of years now. So I don't see that. Yeah. I see more of like a lot of fives, a bunch of steady fives, and then look out in the summer with Deegan out of there. That's, to me, would be the most likely with him. But you never know in this class.
Yeah, I mean, Hymas has switched things up a lot. We've talked about that a little bit on here. He's not at the dog pound with the Lawrences, staying around his family, riding a couple tracks in Mesquite, trying to reconnect, I think, to his roots, to where he remembers and maybe get out of the pressure of the Lawrence compound a little bit. So he's got a new sort of attitude or a new program, let's call it, and we'll see what it takes.
Can I throw a prediction out to you?
Yeah.
Hammaker to Factory Honda in 27, Hymas to PC Cowie in 27. A little switcheroo.
Not crazy talk with Hammaker riding at the dog pound and his contract up. Not a crazy.
And Hymas going home back prediction. To Cowie. So just want to throw it out there in case it happens. I want you all to know I got it here over a year in advance. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Kellen, did anything we say seem whack to you?
No, I think you guys hit the nail on the head. The only thing I was going to add about Deegan specifically is you guys are talking about maturity and everything. If you go back to the first 2 rounds last year, he went down on the first lap at A1 and then went off the track at San Diego on the first lap and came from way back to 5th at A1 and pretty far back to 3rd at San Diego and kept himself in it and then won A2 and started going on a roll. So, you're right. He could still have the problems with the maturity and with the kitchen situation, but I almost look at that as like, okay, we've already seen the maturation process a little bit in play. He just needs to do that again at times, and I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, he should crush this with the results he had at the end of the year and the maturation of him. You hope, and just realizing that this is his title, by far to lose. You hope he just is like, I'm the man, and he should be walking in, literally the 800-pound gorilla of the class and show these dudes what's up. So you hope he does.
And if you're Levi Kitchen, I think that you go at Hayden Deegan as absolutely hard as possible. I mean, you kind of have to, just because of the chirping and because it's kind of out of your old character, and maybe it's part of your new character because of what you did in St. Louis, but you're not just going to like run away from him speed wise. You're not going to beat him that way. You're going to have to kind of go like fist on fist. And if I'm Levi Kitchen, I come out gloves off, because sometimes you don't try to beat them your way. You have to go at them their way and shock them a little bit. And if I'm Levi Kitchen, I mean, I think that's the only way that you can approach the month of January anyways, is go out and go at him from the first. I mean, go Cooper Webb on him, like go after him from the beginning and force it to work, because otherwise he's going to get bullied. And if he gets bullied, he'll lose. And that's not a good look for him moving forward. And it's not a good look in the short term either. So if you're listening, Levi, swing hard and swing early.
I don't think Levi's that type, but maybe.
Well, then don't win a championship.
Wow. Okay. TLD Race Tech. Stomp Grip, by the way, PulpMX 25 to save with Stomp Grip. Designed and manufactured in Huntington Beach, California since 1994. Whether you're racing Supercross, hammering motos, ripping laps, Stomp Grip's dirt bike, 3D grip tape, and frame grips give you the control you need to stay locked in. Engineered for the high friction zones. Blair knows all about that, like his bed sheets. Stomp Grip's 3D grip tape helps reduce arm pump, improve body positioning, and more. StompGrip.com, specifically built and cut for your own bike, or you can make your own and cut your own frame grips. So StompGrip.com. Alpine Stars, Decal Works, ASV Levers, Firepower, Maxxis, Zool's, Seat Concepts, TLD, and Race Tech. Okay, moving on from that, 250 West. Interesting little bit of news last night in Hunter Yoder's interview, DB, that you can shed some light on. He said Chad Reed is more involved than people think with the team, and he's going west with Yoder and Volan when they stay out west to kick off the year, and he'll be out riding with those guys. And Chad, I saw on his social, or maybe Ellie's social, that they are not doing YouTube videos anymore. So yeah, maybe a little bit more of a Chad Reed Club MX collab than we thought. Like, look, if he's staying west and working with these two kids, he's all in, and so that's a good thing for you guys. Can you expand on Reed's role a little bit?
Yeah, I can, and I'll start with this. He's obviously on the property. He moved here. His family's here. The kids are here. Like, they love life. The kids are just zooming around all over the place. I mean, they live all over this property, and that was first for him. But what happened, I think two things, and I'm speaking on his behalf. Hopefully I'm not wrong here, but with his son, I think there's a slower approach now that the rules are changing in the sport. Everything's kind of slowing down. So I think they're slowing down with him and going to do more of an on-ramp approach, which means Chad doesn't have to be so pushing on him right now at this moment. He's really letting the kid just ride Supercross every day, kind of doing his own thing, which again, I think for Chad, he's so competitive. It put him in a place where he's like, you know what? Can I apply my competitive nature over on this team instead? Because he's been around for a few months and he's been like, hey, your bike's this. And he makes these improvements and these like specific, like, dang, what about this? What about this? And everything he's done has made the bike better, the program better. So he's been kind of just teasing like improvements. And then I think he was like, you know what? I'm ready to go all in. I'll let my son grow up a little bit and put all my energy at the Club MX team. And dude, he is all the way in. And I'm telling you right now, he's ran the team's riding and training program now for a couple months. All of boot camp was his. And I know he's very difficult because he pushes the guys hard and they come off every day like exhausted. But the mindset shift that has happened with Max, with Hunter, with everybody, it's been pretty wild. I mean, he's got a really high standard for everything. And I feel like it's made a massive improvement with the entire room, the team side, the bike side, staff side, the riders. It just seems like everybody is bought into, like, he's a two-time champ and a Hall of Famer, and he's got the proof is in the pudding. So everyone's bought in. And I'm telling you, there's been a mind shift change on the property in the last 2 months. And it's been all for the positive. So yeah, he's all in. I think he's going west with them to California. I mean, he's even running the program when he's not here. And when he's gone, I'll implement kind of his program for Cody and Devin as they kind of start their boot camp. But it has been a wild transformation, all for the better. And I think it'll be noticeable once we go racing this year.
So is he the team manager? What?
No,
do we have a role?
We're working on the actual titling of what his role is, but essentially he's just improving the performance across the board on everything from bike to rider to systems. He's just, really he's injecting everything that he knows from his racing and his 2 days and just implementing that through a staff. Now things are different because when he was racing, it was Chad. It was just him racing. And we already have, we have a big staff of people that have been doing it for a long time now. I'm newer to the group still, but he's just been injecting all the things that he's learned on a team side, on a riding side. So he's not the team manager, doesn't do those duties. It's pretty much like, where are we weak and can we perform better? And he just points it out with the suggestions, and we're just kind of doing it across the board. So I would say something along the lines of like the manager of performance enhancement or something like that. We'll figure out a title.
No, that sounds like illegal drugs going on. Don't do that.
Okay, well, we'll come up with something correct to match.
The performance enhancement that doesn't work.
Probably not the right words for what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying. Like every part of the program is being pushed to be better. And it's been like a full buy-in for the last 2 months. And I'm telling you, like, again, club has had obviously some issues in the news. I think everyone saw that we struggled with some sponsor stuff that's being all sorted out now. But when it comes to the racing side, this team's ready to go. Really, really ready. And Chad gets a lot of credit, probably most of the credit for that.
Kellen, we saw the press release drop of club guys switching to fly. Do you think if you went to South Carolina to the facility there at club, or North Carolina, is it north or south? What is it?
South.
North? South. Yeah, so I thought. Do you think you would just see a massive bonfire, Kellen, of FXR stuff? Like just everyone roasting and I'm not saying it like FFX. I'm not saying like screw FXR. I'm saying like we no longer need to wear FXR shirts. Like we've been wearing FXR shirts and gear for 10 years. And so now what do we do with this shit? Well, we burn it and we have a bonfire and have marshmallows. And I don't mean it like screw FXR. It's just literally cannot be worn anymore. So what do you think, Kellen?
Maybe. They also have a lot of people on the facility there that are backed by FXR, I assume, too. So maybe they could just kind of do a little hand-me-down trade program.
Sure, okay. All right. Yeah. Because we got to get the fly stuff in there now.
Yeah. All I got to say is that I've had a closet full of fly stuff that I haven't been able to wear in 9 months.
Yeah.
And I've been wearing it all every day. Like I get to wear all my clothes again because that's my home life clothes I don't wear around here. So I was the only one ready for this. My closet is in use now, but everyone else is having to adapt.
Big change.
Massive change. And I'll leave it at that. That was a very, very, I think difficult situation for everybody on the property. That was going on when I was in World Supercross. So I don't really know those final, those final days of that last chapter. But I know it was a very difficult thing for sure. And I'll leave it at that.
People listen and watch our shows because we talk about things that other people don't talk about. Mm-hmm. So, Daniel, I've been hearing just around the rumors, is Malinowski locked in?
Yeah, he's on a 1-year amateur agreement with a 2-year pro attachment. So,
okay.
Yeah, no, whatever you've been hearing, I've been hearing it too. And no, we're all good there. I know what you're talking about. And obviously.
Just people, I don't know if the FXR club relationship ended the greatest. And there's rumors out there that Malinowski, who's got a tie-in to the owner of FXR, obviously the tie-in is the gear that the owner wants his tie-in to wear. Mm-hmm. So, okay, but we're good.
Yeah, we're good. He's under agreement. He signed last year in April, and he's under contract.
Well, definitely contracts are never broken in our sport. So
no, it's never happened once in the sport ever.
No, definitely not.
I'll tell you what. Right. I'll tell you what, though. A trade did happen once in this sport.
Yeah, we did. We had a trade.
We had a trade. So I know you were talking to Lars last night. If Jett's available for a trade, Ryder Malinowski would be available to trade for Jett straight across.
Salaries too?
No. The salaries stay with the team. So
got it. Okay.
Poor Jett. But no.
Do you want a 38-year-old Jake Weimer?
No, but I say he's racing German, right? Is he or Dortmund?
Dortmund, yeah.
Yeah. No. We already have an old Phil Nicoletti that roams around here every once in a while. We don't need that.
Crusty old Phil.
We already got a crusty old boy around here. So
Yeah, don't need it. By the way, ASV and Decal Works, Daniel, they're also on the show. Thanks
yeah,
for those guys.
yeah, and I'm going to do something a little bit different to end the year. I'm not going to actually do the read, even though I do have it here. That way you don't think I'm getting out of it. But I'll just make my pitch to all the fans of this show. A lot of brands in the sport that support different avenues, but the ones that spend the extra time and money to support these types of shows, I mean, I think they're very important for the industry. So the next time you have a choice, choose ASV, choose Decal Works. I mean, these are companies that are investing into the sport in ways that not everybody does. So when you have a choice to make, choose ASV and choose Decal Works, because I think that's important. You know, there's a lot of brands in the sport that really invest in every way, Steve. You know it because this is what you do. But these are the brands that need the customers to buy their stuff and keep this thing going and keep them supporting everybody. It's part of the big circle. So very grateful for them.
Said.
So yeah, ASV and Decal Works.
Guys like Bob at ASV and Ron at Decal Works, they're passionate, man. Yeah. They've built companies. They've built their companies doing what they love, right, which is moto, and they've been successful at that because I think because they love moto. That's why. They
love it. They're passionate. They listen to the shows. Like they're owners, but they're fans, and that's the most important part because everyone listening to this is a fan. Steve, you and I, at the end of the day, we're fans. We love this. We live it all day long, and these brands do too. And not every brand is that way. And it's not a diss. Mm-hmm. It's just some brands are special, and the ones that literally live it 24/7, those are the ones that I feel the customer should reward. And so I would ask you to do that for the sponsors of this show.
And also, like, let's not forget Start Your Systems. I mean, if you're into whatever Start Your Systems is into, support them. Right, Kellen?
Yeah. Come on over. Everyone. Bring it on down. You
can tell the passion I have for Starter Systems.
Whatever they have going on, yeah.
Whatever's going on with Kellen, he's got Swap Moto and
he's got
Start Your Systems
and a viral Instagram post. Kellen, nice work, dude. Your Christmas post, your A1 hype post. What's the numbers at now? That post was a absolute banger.
Yeah.
Lewis made fun of it a lot, so.
That's
where I never even saw this. I thought you guys for sure would be roasting me in the group chat.
I thought it was in the group chat. No, it wasn't. Oh
no. Oh goody, you guys were doing it behind my back.
Maybe. No, Lewis. No, I don't think Lewis is in a group chat that you're not in, Kellen.
Anyways, no, I know he is actually, but that's okay.
What? Which one?
Oh, I'm not going to say it out loud.
I think you're wrong.
I'll text you on the side.
Is it the Hurlings one?
Well, that one too. That wasn't the one I was thinking of.
Because that one is just about Hurlings, and I got to get out of it.
I know.
Okay, yeah, I hate that one.
What's the numbers, Kellen? Where are you at?
It's like 800,000 views, 55,000 likes or something like that.
Nice work.
The thing that got me is it's been shared like 25,000 times.
Oh my God.
So, okay.
Wow.
Honestly, I saw and I'm just like, fucking Kellen, like whatever. But like, Kellen, did you do that to go viral? Like, are you like, this is gonna like,
no,
you know what
I mean,
like,
I just did it for fun. Like whatever, I'm hyped for Supercross and make a little edit and have fun with it. So why not? Yeah.
Those ones always do the best. Those ones always do the best.
Yeah.
Somehow Pookie saw it. She's like, oh, did you see this? And I'm like, yeah, I saw it.
I saw it early too. I was like, oh, good post. And then like, I think it came back in my feed and I was like, oh, there it is again. I was like, oh my God, it's got like 50,000 likes. And it went off. So nice work.
This is Kellen being Kellen, everybody. All right. Hey, by the way, speaking of passion, Zulian at Zool's Bags, great guy, Chad Zulian. He knows all about the bag world, and for 30% off Zool's Bag Co., use Pulp25 code. It is 30% off. Thank you to the folks at Zool's Bag, whether you're taking your kids to the sporting events, whether you're going motoing, whether you need a helmet bag, a carry-on bag, all of that stuff, zoolsbagco.com. Travis Pastrana, Trey Kennard, just a couple of people that use it, Phoenix Racing Guides as well. ZULZbagco.com. Use the code to save. And Seat Concepts as well. Dual Sport stuff is where they made their name, but they're big into moto, Factory Beta, Phoenix Racing, Randy Hawkins, Ampro, Yamaha, and the GNCC side of stuff. Seatconcepts.com. Ride the world with them. From the Race 2.0 to the Comfort Series, the proprietary foam and handcrafted seat shapes are made in the USA and put you and your ass in a better spot. Thank you to Seat Concepts. Pulp25 code there as well. Pulp25 code at Zool's Bag Co. Decal Works, ASV Levers, Alpine Stars, Stomp Grip, Maxxis, Firepower, Race Tech, and TLD. If you want to save at Race Tech, mention this show. Mention a regional arena cross champion. You'll save at Racetech. And mention, use the contact form on PulpMX to get us a code to save at TroyLeeDesigns.com. TLD Ducati. Speaking of that, Barcia's just back on the bike. Daniel, you're a racer. Collarbone's not a big deal. He told us at media day he broke it just past the plate, where there was a plate already in one. So they'd take the plate out, make a longer plate. He's an A1 specialist, Justin Barcia is, but he is on the Ducati. How, obviously we're all speculating, but how tough is this going to be for Bam to get used to this Ducati? A, B, come in with not much time on himself.
Man, it could go two different ways. One is you have a new bike that has the best frame in all of two-wheel racing, according to his teammate.
Yes,
right? Best frame
yes, you do.
ever. But you have a new bike that you're riding that doesn't have any Supercross history, and you're coming off.
I always thought, I thought Sydney Sweeney had a great frame, but apparently the Ducati's got a better frame.
Not according to Dylan.
Nope.
Anyways, you take a new bike and you take a collarbone injury and you take this field and you're like, man, that is not an ideal way to kick things off. But sometimes when you have so much going on, it's almost like it all equals itself out and you just go, F it. And you just go for it. And he is the type, man. I'm telling you, he's so good at opening nights. I mean, he won, 2 Anaheims and then Houston, I think that year. That was the gas year when he debuted for that team. He's a great debut guy. He may come out, and I'm not saying he's going to win, but he may come out and just shock everybody because he's not really been in the conversation for a number of different reasons. So anyone else that I'm like, this is probably really bad, but he's the one guy who could overcome a collarbone, a new bike, a deep field, being in his 30s. He could just overcome that and come out and just shock everybody. So I would actually lean towards he does probably pretty good at Anaheim 1 because he's just that guy.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just loosey-goosey, just rev the shit out of the Desmo and do something, right?
And just while everyone else is freaking out over A1, he just he's so good at that race for whatever reason. So if he just draws on whatever makes him good at that, he could overcome a legitimate list of hurdles that should cause him to have a really bad night. But you never know. It's Barcia, man. He could come out and just beat Dylan, which would be weird because Dylan, I don't think has had any issues. So
it's going to be cool to see 2 Ducatis and a Triumph 450 out there, right? Faulkner's jumping in the 450 class. It's going to be great. Great to see these manufacturers showing up and racing. It's fantastic for the sport. I love that. All right, I'm throwing this, guys, at you cold. We are doing a pre-A1 show, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, let's just save it for that. All right, I was going to throw something
Tease
at
it.
you
What
guys,
is it? What are we doing for fantasy? We doing our thing next year again? Because I liked it. I mean,
I thought it went really well. I don't know. The fraud is the one that has to pick the riders / keep track of everything, and we did have some controversial moments in the selections, but it was fun.
Let's just say that our rule book is very similar to the AMAs. It's just it's week by week.
It's like Wygant. It's like Wygant keeping track of the points. It's very loose.
I've never ever seen something that loose before. That was.
Hey, speaking of that idiot, so he loves Barry Carsten, right?
Yes.
I haven't told this story publicly. He loves Barry Carsten. I got a guy, MX Reference. He writes for PulpMX. He does a great job with stats and numbers and everything else. And he's got stuff up there right now on PulpMX.com as far as milestones that guys can reach this year in Supercross. Eli points, Eli podiums, blah, 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 blah. Great stuff. Read it. Anyways, I asked MX Reference, pull me all of Barry Carsten's stats. Races, points, classes, mains, whatever. I need everything. Scrape Cycle News, he did that. And I wrote something about it, and I sent it to Wygant because he's a great writer, and he loves Barry Carsten. I sent it to him in June, Daniel. June. For some time on Pulp. It is 2 days until the end of the year, and that guy has not gotten me the text. He said he started it a while ago. And I just want people to know that he doesn't like Barry Carsten. He actually is shitting on Barry Carsten. I'm trying to write a column about Barry's legacy because it's phenomenal. And Wygant is shitting on Barry. So anybody who thinks that New Jersey has some sort of tie-in with Barry and Weege.
Where does this land? It lands on PulpMX?
Yeah, pulpmx.com. I got a website.
Yeah, but that's why if it was on Racer X, dude, he'd already had it out twice. Right?
Listen, man, I'll put it on Racer X if it helps. Like, I don't care.
Just want it done.
June, Daniel. June.
He's busy, dude. He's busy. The guy works hard, dude. That's all I got to say.
He does work hard. He definitely doesn't work hard on like putting. Did you hear about his pedals on Christmas Day?
No. I can only imagine though what.
He stripped pedals out on his kid's bicycle and had to take him to Ulikowski.
Oh, where you screw them in to the
right.
crank.
He says he knows that one was a left-hand thread. Pedals are right-hand thread, left-hand thread. He said he knows that. But yet somehow he stripped putting pedals on.
Man.
It's phenomenal.
It would have been great to be a fly on the wall watching that happen. That would have been hilarious. Like,
he's unbelievable. But I just wanted to put it out in this show that the Barry text still not there. We're supposed to do a 250 Supercross preview for Racer X. I don't know when, but I will bring that Barry text story up again.
All right.
So, yep.
All right.
Okay. So that's it for this show. Anything else? Did we miss anything?
End of year. We were going to kind of debate the Malcolm Stewart versus J-Mart victories as the moment of the year. What do you? What do you think?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Is there anything else that we can think of? Like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that was amazing. The whole Salt Lake thing with Vial and RJ and Seth, but that wasn't like a feel-good moment.
Yeah,
right?
that was more of a oh my gosh, I can't believe it kind of thing. I mean, there was I would say honestly, J-Mart's win and Malcolm's win to me were like incredible. Like the way I felt when both of those happened, like my heart was like super. I felt a lot. But as far as like Salt Lake or even Deegan Shimoda in Vegas, like we had some WTF moments this year, like so many. And the
red flag in the red flag in Detroit.
Oh my gosh!
And then just the 2 laps,
kitchen
and then kitchen wins. Just Max gets screwed over. They fixed that rule, by the way. Good idea from those guys. Anywho,
but I would say Malcolm's win, man. I remember that, and I legitimately was so fired up when that happened, just because.
Yeah.
The story of Malcolm. I mean, he's been so good so many times. And you're always wondering, is he going to get that win? And when AP got his too, it was such a feel good. When Malcolm got his, James is up there calling the race. It was like a great moment for the sport.
Also, Malcolm is a fantastic dude, man.
Oh,
he's amazing.
Just generally as a person,
he's such a good guy.
One of the coolest dudes in the sport. Period. So everybody, that's one where everybody was happy. Like AP's. When AP won, no one was upset except for maybe who got second was probably like, oh, man. But other than that, Malcolm is just – he's that guy, and it was cool for everybody. And then the J-Mart one to me, dude, was just like jaw-dropping. That was more shocked and happy than just happy. I could not believe that happened this year.
Can it be a tie? Honestly, DB, I can't pick. They both were so cool.
Just like that, to me, they both transcend.
I guess if J-Mart would have got the overall – Right? That would have
probably
changed it.
But Deegan got it.
A little bit. Yeah, but Deegan got it. But even Hayden acted like a normal human towards J-Mart. Which was good to see. Because
shocked.
Even he understood, what it was like for J-Mart to. I'll go Malcolm. I said a tie. I'll go Malcolm by the smallest percent.
I'll go J-Mart by the smallest percent because he was giving tours at the beginning of the year, dude. He was literally giving VIP tours. It's such a movie. It's such a movie, dude. And then he was giving
tours. He was giving tours 3 weeks later at SMS.
I know, but and then he started the outdoors and it was so bad at the first 2 that he ends up out, and all of a sudden it's like the whole dream is dead. And then give him one more ride, and then he comes out and it's just unbelievable. And yes, the track was prepped probably perfect. Questionable on the start. I think he had about a half a bike length over the gate. Whatever. I don't care. It was one of the coolest stories I think I've ever seen in the sport. And that happened this year. So to me, that was probably the highlight. It was J-Mart's win.
What does the fraud say?
To me, it's J-Mart. As DB said, like you could make a movie out of it. The Malcolm thing it was awesome for sure. But in the grand scheme of things, like there are a lot of wins like that where they're feel-good wins and everyone's happy for them. And it's the first one. I struggle to find a situation where we're ever going to see something like the J-Mart thing again. Home race, like
so
come
shocking.
back out of retirement, like you said, was giving tours. I remember interviewing him in like March, and he's like, "Yeah, I might ride a Cowie at Millville. We'll see." And then he rides a Star 250, and like I've had moments like this in my life, but this one stuck out to me where I was taking photos of the race next to the track at Millville, and I could not hear J-Mart go by because the crowd was that loud.
Dude.
So like that kind of chills that you get down your spine with like just how much of the noise was carried through the valley with where he was going on the track, like that'll stick with me forever, I think.
Donnie Schmidt had a moment a little bit. Donnie Schmidt came out of retirement for 2 years or a year and raced Millville and got third. I think he led for a bit, but that's not a win. But that was premier class. But Donnie Schmidt at Millville had a moment where he was, long retired, jumped on a Honda Troy. But yeah.
The Malcolm one too. I mean, it's crazy how both of those happened in an environment that would be so loud because Malcolm's was in Florida, right? I mean, it was like if that would have happened in Seattle, it would have been like that's cool, but like really. But it happened where it happened and how it happened, and I bet that place was loud too. I can only imagine. I mean, it was, dude. It just those were two really cool moments, and that reminds me of how this sport always gives us those. We always get these moments, right? Like AP getting his win to me again is another one that I just was so happy about. And I'm wondering, like, what does the sport give us this year? What's that moment this year? And is it even possible? Like, who out there is missing that final piece of their puzzle in their story? Who is there?
Kenny winning the title. Would be it. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it really would be. I mean, Eli's got one, Chase has got one, Hunter's time is coming, all of that. But yeah, Coop's got a few. But Kenny winning this thing would be pretty unbelievable.
Who? I mean, I guess we'll do this next week. But A1, man, like
yeah. Now let's stay with
A1. Yeah, I'm excited. It's starting to get real. That's all I can say. It's with But by the way, I hate to do this. Have you seen the weather of the next 10 days in Anaheim?
Yeah, I have.
Good.
I just saw it today. No, I know.
They're getting blown out like 8 out of 10 days.
Yeah, not ideal. But let's wait and see. I guess
if it is AP and Bam Bam, baby, for the win at A1.
Yeah. AP just rubbing his hands together.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, thank you to Troy Lee Designs and Race Tech. Thanks to the Fraud for putting this whole thing together. And then we'll be back next week to break down A1 a little bit, and talk a little bit more about what we think about what we're going to see. We'll know the weather better then too. But thanks to all the sponsors. Thank you people for a successful first-year show. This is the last one of 2025. It did really well. I was telling these guys before we hit record that for a brand new show, I've got some experience in launching these things. This one's been really, really successful. Again, I attribute most of it to me. But thanks everybody. Appreciate that.